The time has arrived. We are right in the middle of the year, and you know what you're here for. Today, I will be sharing with you the best luxury beauty releases of 2023. In addition, I will be revealing the winner of the Game Changer Most Innovative Beauty Product of 2023. I should say so far because I know we're in the mid of the year. We still have a little bit to go. Heading already, I mean, we have been seeing already sneak peeks of the fall releases, and I'm sure in a blink of an eye, as soon as we hit mid of July, we're gonna be seeing a lot more of the holiday releases. I know, I want to enjoy the summertime. It's like, really? But anyhow, my friends, yes. Today I will be sharing those amazing products that have released this 2023. I try to condense as much as possible. You know, here on my channel, I review a ton of luxury beauty releases, and I try to really cap that at those products that really made a difference this 2023. Not only that, but a little bit into the video, I will be revealing the winner of the most innovative game changer beauty product that has released this 2023. So let's go ahead and get started. Foundations. And actually, I'm wearing both of the foundations on my face today. On one side, I have my beloved Clé de Peau Radiant Cushion Dewy Foundation. If you have dry skin, sensitive skin, mature skin, if you just want to have that beautiful glow that doesn't look greasy but looks just your skin but better, so youthful, perfected, and that is not heavy on the skin, that doesn't look makeupy, highly recommended. Go with this compact foundation. Not only it's amazing in performance too because it's super long lasting, like I said, it looks beautiful. If you have also normal combination skin, you can definitely use it. It's just so imperceptible. It lets you see and peek through. I do have freckles and I can see my freckles. I can still see my sunspots here and there, which is fine with me. Something that I absolutely love because it just I don't want to mask myself, and my skin feels hydrated without feeling over moisturized, and I can take it for trips, travel, everything. This foundation is beyond fantastic. I always love cushion foundations when they are done right. In fact, if I will ever do my own makeup line, which I doubt, but I will go for a cushion foundation because they are just so wonderful, and this foundation is beyond incredible. And then the second foundation that I have on my list and that I'm using on this side, it is Guerlain Terracotta Le Teint. This foundation is another magical, gorgeous product that just applies seamlessly on the skin. It's extremely perfecting, but once again, without masking your face, making your skin look like a skin. It doesn't look like you have foundation, and it is just so imperceptible yet so gorgeous. So just beyond pretty. If you're going for a special event, for a gala, if you're gonna be photographed too, this foundation will make your skin look so perfect. And again, it's another very long lasting foundation. I mean, I'm talking about on both of these foundations, I have done full day wear tests and they pass the 10-hour mark without looking bad. I mean, they don't emphasize texture, they don't emphasize enlarged pores, fine lines. They are just so forgiving. So I think that both foundations, they can cover a range of different type of ages. You know how is your skin aging and whatnot. But yeah, they are both fantastic. And the biggest difference between the cushion foundation from Clé de Peau and the Terracotta Le Teint by Guerlain, it is basically that this one is a little bit more natural. It's not more mattifying, but it's just extremely natural. There's no a lot of glow. There's just a very soft radiance that the cushion one has just a little bit more radiance than this one. That's the main difference. And that being said, I think perhaps this one is the one that it will also work for those with combination skin or oily skin. So those are the two foundations that really have impressed me this year. The only one concealer that has impressed me this year, and it is the Traceless Soft Matte Concealer by Tom Ford. Again, incredible for traveling. Is the one that I'm wearing today. It does have a medium coverage, and I say a medium coverage because, as you know, my friends, I do have very dark under eye circles, like so dark that I look like a raccoon without makeup. And there's very few foundations that can give me a full coverage, but for many of you, this may be a full coverage. The beautiful thing about it is how hydrating it is. It's not balmy. It does have full coverage. It wears throughout the entire day without problems, no creasing. You can build on pigmentation. You can use it to spot conceal any other areas. It is one top five concealers within the five concealers on my collection that I will say, yes, this hits all the points in coverage, in longevity, in performance, in absolutely everything. Tom Ford did incredible with this concealer. And before I move on into other categories, let's talk about brushes. And yes, I have this Sonia G sheer buffer brush. What a game changer of a brush. I mean, all Sonia G brushes are top of the line, the best of the best. I mean, they are luxury. They they are honestly also a game changer product, I think, because you can only do so much between a good makeup and technique, but if you don't have the right tools, then you're not able to achieve or go beyond a certain product or take advantage of the product and really make it work as it's supposed to. And with Sonia G in general, that's what you will find. And if you watch my videos, you know, my friends, I mean, like every time that I do a review, a Sonia G brush is always in there. And yes, talking about this sheer buffer brush, I'm so in love with this brush. First of all, it's a stippling brush, but it's not your common one. So you have a mix of natural hair and synthetic bristles. And the way that it was designed, it is in such a way that when you press it, the bristles that go over top, the stippling ones, they do not open up. Therefore, they create a certain pressure that they can really let the product move without disturbing the makeup underneath. And then you have the buffer area underneath that makes, again, to create a very smooth effect and spread that product evenly. And it makes it for one of those ideal brushes to spread foundation, cream blush, cream bronzer, cream highlighter, spread your primer, whatever it is. But another thing that I love about this brush is that if you're familiar with the underpainting technique, which is not nothing new, this was created many years ago. Kevin O'Quam was one of them, Scott Barnes too, where you first put your contour, your bronzer, your blush, and then you go over top with your foundation. And the key part of the underpainting technique, it is that your foundation has to be applied in a very light, sheer-like way, even if the foundation has full coverage or not. And the way that you're able to achieve of that is using the right tool, and this is the right tool for that. Bronzers, you know this was gonna come. It is the Hermes bronzers. They have them in different shades. The way that they blend, that they apply on the skin, they are just phenomenal. I have the shade 3 Sahara and 4 Sienne, and both of them are incredible. 3 Sahara is more of like neutral, leaning a little bit, not warm, but just a dash golden in tone, which is fantastic for all year round. Number 4, when you hit the peak of summer and as you get a real tan, then I will suggest go with the number 4. That is more reddish undertone, beautiful airbrush. The scent of them is really light and pleasant, and just the whole packaging and the whole formula is what it makes it so special. It does have, when you touch it, you will see it's non-powdery. It's kind of not non-creamy too. It just glides on kind of like velvet like. super smooth, lots of emollients. Another thing that makes of this bronzer very special is that you have basically three tones within a pan. So you will see a more neutral tone like on the edge, then you will see something a little bit more warmer, and then again something a little bit more soft on the outer skirts. So all of that makes of this bronzer just phenomenal, fantastic. And one product that we had been waiting for years to come it, are the bronzers from McGrath. Finally, this year she came out with bronzers and she did a beautiful job. The one that I love particularly the most is Desert Glow. It doesn't really give a glow to the skin, but rather that sun kiss golden goddess kind of vibe look, and the formula is really really good. Perhaps not like wow, I never seen this formula before, but it's very well done. And again, the shade Desert Glow is the one that conquered my heart. Let's move on now. Oh my gosh, the biggest category I think are blushes. I mean, this year has been the year of blushes, and our darling Charlotte Tilbury, she has come out with the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush ones. I pick up all the shades. They are all gorgeous. I'm missing one of the shades. It may be buried here somewhere, but all of the shades are gorgeous. The one that I use the most, which is the one that is missing, it must be, like I said, buried in here somewhere, is Pillow Talk. But pick and choose any shade, it's fantastic. These other shades, Dream Pop, I wasn't appreciating it as much a few months ago because, I'm still a little bit pale. I don't have a real tan right now, just very, very minimal. But Dream Pop will go really beautiful for that, like rosy cheeks that they just look very natural. They are extremely easy to blend. You are not going to find any patchiness on these. They're not going to lift up your foundation. The shades are phenomenal. I think she just really, really outdid herself with these blushes to the point that I'm thinking, well, we have contour on these cream products, but we don't have bronzers. And I would really love to see bronzers from our darling, but perhaps on this formula. I mean, why not matte? Also, I would love to see something that is not completely matte, but if they are done this way, I'm sure she will make it spectacular because these are like airbrush. And talking about cream products, and also from our darling, not too long ago, she launched her Pingasm Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pingasm Sunset. I love all the shades, but this shade in particular, I actually have it underneath my powder blush right now, and I love the shade. The shade is so beautiful. It's in between a peach and a terracotta tone with a little, I mean, not even golden. It just have a very healthy effect on the cheeks that gives you that golden hour look that is like chef's kiss. So gorgeous. I wish this will come permanent, but we know how is Chanel. No, it's not going to be permanent. Is Fantaisie du Chanel. And this was from their spring collection, Le Blanc collection. I don't think the camera will make it justice. Is the most beautiful shade of pink that I have in my collection. It is, I don't know, it has something very particular because although it seems like when you swatch it, it looks like it has a white undertone. It really doesn't. And it does have a little bit of this sheen without having glitter, without having shimmer, that it just gives a healthy look to the skin. I mean, like this blush is spring in a blush. That's what it is. And it is the perfect blush, I think, for all year round. A must have. I know it has come back in stock a couple times. If you see it back in stock, I will highly, highly suggest you to go ahead and get it because this is a unique blush and so sadly it's a limited edition blush. And by the way, I will be leaving all the details, all the links of all the products that I'm talking about today as per usual. They are in the description box below. I'm also going to try to put it, there's a new system here from YouTube that we can actually add some of the products, not all of them, but some of them they will be here, and again the full list will be on the description box below. Okay, now let's talk about Wild Meadows blush from Chantecaille. This was also from a spring collection, beautiful shade, and another what I think it's a new formula from Chantecaille, because I do have other blushes from them, gray blushes too, but this one is soft and creamy and melts in on the skin, and they do have so much pigment. They're just beautiful, but this shade in particular, Apple Blossom, oh, they leave your cheeks so beautiful, and I think they are still available, so highly, highly recommend to check them out. And let me tell you that the Luminous Steel Glow blushes from Giorgio Armani, this formulation, it's a really well done formula. I love all of the shades are very, very unique. The ones that I like perhaps the most are 51 and then 50. 50 is more of that hybrid between a blush and a luminizer that you just need all in one. Yet they do not emphasize the enlarged pores. With the exception of the shade 50, they are more into the matte side, but they just leave a very perfected kind of blur finish on the skin, very, very natural and non-powdery and with a ton of pigmentation. Now, you know, my friends, my love in terms of the actual formula and finish of Gucci blushes is something that to me is top of the line too, and they had come out with three new shades. Out of those three, and the one that I'm wearing over top, Beauty Blush one from Charlotte Tilbury, is this one called Intense Plum by Gucci. It's just, oh, this is, I always say it's kind of like a fruit punch in a blush. So healthy, so beautiful. And the uniqueness of the Gucci blushes is on the formula. They have a borderline satin formulation that doesn't give too much glow. They are beautiful, super nice and blurring, and they just last all day long. They are one of the best blushes in the market, period. And although it's not a new formula, a new product in general of this 2023, the shade is new, and this shade is worth to talk about because it will work for so many skin tones. Someone with very light skin tone to one that have light to medium like myself, medium tan, deep. This is a chameleonic blush shade. Also not a new formula, but a new shade from Hermes. And this one in particular is Rose Couvret. If you want to have again that golden hour kind of blush, take this. Take this. This is fantastic, and it's different from the other, like the first set of blushes that they came out, because this one in particular has a little bit of a sheen comparable to the ones from Gucci that is not truly satin but is not completely matte. Again, the scent kills me, so so nice. It's not overwhelming, so if you are a person that I don't like scent on my makeup, or if it's too much it will give me a headache, this is just, you open it, you apply it, and then it dissipates. It's not something that you're gonna be like overwhelmed throughout the day or even a few minutes into doing your makeup. But this shade, Rose Couvret, it is phenomenal, and I love the Hermes blushes, but for some reason this one in particular, I think it's just, it has a little bit of a sheen, no shimmer, no glitter, not truly satin, but that little sheen that you will also see on the Gucci blushes when you look at them, that they look like silky, like a veil of silk slightly there. That's what you will find on this specific shade. Now, another blush that also is not new for the year in terms of formula, but on terms of the actual shade, is this one, Divine Rose number 3 from Pat McGrath. I mean, this shade is, to me, I mean, I have all of the shades from Pat McGrath. I love Desert Orchid. I mean, I have a couple that I love, but this one is on the very top, like top 3 of all the blush shades from Pat McGrath. These deserve a mention. It really, really does. And it's not ultra matte, it's not ultra satin too. It's just very pretty. I keep swatching them. I know you're going to be barely able to see them because they are blushes and they are supposed to be able to be built up. And again, another thing about these formulations that I'm talking about is that all of them, they last throughout the day. And that comes with the new technology, the new formulations that we're finding in the industry. They're just fantastic. Talking about new formulations, well, Dior it's in a journey to reformulate all of their products. We have seen it on their eyeshadows, foundations, concealers. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And they have reformulated and added some shades to the backstage rosy glow blushes. And I want to talk about these two blushes. Rosewood is exactly what it was needed on that specific line. Now, I feel that the formula now I feel it's a little bit better than the previous formula. I really love the finish. It's more matte, not like ultra matte that makes your cheeks look flat matte. In fact, they give a little bit of that cloud like puffy cotton like kind of effect, something very velour but matte in general. But this shade was definitely missing on that line, which is rosewood. It's a very, I call it the pillow talk, that classic blush shade that makes your cheek look just like perfect with pretty much any eye look. And then I have to tell you, cherry, it is a fantastic shade too. It is again another fruit punch shade, a little bit more coral, just a little bit more intense than the one from Gucci, but gorgeous nonetheless. It just gives life to the cheeks. It's one of those blushes that you just need a little bit of bronzer on your eyelids, mascara, and then just dust it, across, and then you're like out to go with a lip oil and you call it a day. And then again, they are with their reformulated rouge blushes, in particular the shade Mitza Shimmer. There's no really shimmer on these blushes, super, super long lasting, but this shade, it is amazing. It just gives these beautiful, soft pink cheeks, baby like kind of blush, not Barbie pink, but baby like. I don't know how to explain it. You have to build it up to really see it. The intensity, the shade. Like I said, it doesn't have shimmer. The ones that they say that shimmer, they are not really having a specks of shimmer, but rather it seems like they are kind of like duochromy. There's a little bit of pink and a little bit of peach in it, but it's just fantastic. And again, in terms of finish, they apply more, again, cloud-like, very, very blurring and absolutely beautiful face palettes. And let's talk about this Chanel eyeshadow and blush palette, Tendresse. My friends, I was rocking it at least the first 4 months of the year, or three at least. This was all what I was using. I love all the shades right here. Blush, highlighter slash blush. These serve me to warm up my skin mostly in fall and winter season. But the performance of this palette is phenomenal. I love the finish. How is all of the shades right here, they have like a very subtle satiny silky finish. And I use this palette, just take it as is and use it as is intended as blush for eyes. Incredible. Now this palette, which is so hard to find, I'm thinking that perhaps Hourglass will bring it for the holiday season, and I'm talking about the Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpt and Set palette. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of the shades in here are repeated shades from previous palettes, but in general, this palette as is just phenomenal. Hold on, let me do something here. Let me grab my La Mer brush because I put on my makeup, but I didn't finish off my whole makeup look. So I'm just gonna dust this up here and I'm just gonna buff it. I'm in love with this palette. It's just so good. It's perfect. You have everything that you need. I mean, like, yes, you may say, well, you need a blush right here. Absolutely. Would I love that Hourglass will give us the chance to perhaps customize our palettes, the entire, or maybe just even two shades? Yes, yes, yes. I would love to. But regardless, this palette is fantastic. The bronzer is perfection. This shade right here is it helps me to bronze up, but also as contour. These highlighter is fantastic. The setting powders, finishing powders from Hourglass, you know that they are magical and blurring, and that's what it gives you. I think this perhaps was a teaser for what is coming for the holiday season. Who knows? Because they show up on Hourglass website like, hey, hi, we're here. And it's like, what's going on? Is none of the holiday season. Why they are dropping these kind of palettes? Because prior it was exclusive to the holiday season. But I think perhaps they are testing the waters and kind of give us a little sneak peek of what is coming for the holiday season. Who knows? But hopefully, fingers crossed, it comes back in stock. And back in stock, well, um, Charlotte Tilbury, she decided to bring back the Glow Gasm face palette in Love Gasm. This was the deepest one, and she reformulated. Nothing is gonna tell me that she didn't reformulate it. The previous one was really good. I used it, but I know certain people didn't like it that much because it was harder to pick up. These are gel powders, and back on the time when these launched, the gel powders and the gel formulas were not as common as they are now. So with time, people have learned to use gel powders and to learn which type of brushes to use, etc. So time has passed, but regardless, I feel that this is a reformulation and this will give you that stunning, amazing angel from Victoria's Secret back on the days look that just looks so seductive. I wish though that she could have also launched a couple other versions, something perhaps, I mean, this is going into the pink shades, maybe something that goes on the peachy tones, and then a deeper one with perhaps some magenta tones. I mean, like, just create a variation. It would have been fantastic, but hey, who knows? Maybe she's bringing us something like that for the holiday season. But if you see it back in stock, no doubt, get it. You will not regret it. Diving into liquid highlighters. And these highlighters are very special because they are chameleonic. They are more than just a highlighter, but rather luminizers. They can be used as primers. They are phenomenal. Here, this one by Gucci is that multi-use drops caring and illuminating. This is such a hydrating primer. To me, I will say a lot better than the Charlotte Tilbury one in terms of like the effect that it gives you on the skin, how hydrating, a little bit even cooling it feels. Nothing minty, nothing that is gonna I have sensitive skin, but rather just a sensation of hydration that is lasting on the skin and that really creates a beautiful effect on your foundation without making it extra glowy, extra dewy. It doesn't change the nature of the foundation. So if you have a foundation that is kind of gripping and it stays fairly well on your skin, I don't see a reason why you need to be afraid that, oh no, it's gonna, instead of lasting me, I don't know, my foundation 10, 12 hours, it's gonna last me 8 hours. No, this doesn't change the foundation in those terms, but it just gives a beautiful glow. You can definitely use it as a spot highlighter. It is fantastic and it has this beautiful nude tone that actually works with various skin tones really, really well. And then again, same type of idea, very chameleonic, are the new Westman Atelier liquid super loaded highlighters. I got all the three shades. I'm in love with all of the three shades. These are the liquid version of the super loaded tinted highlighters, the ones in the pot that I love so much. The main difference is the amount of pigment. You don't have as much pigment or color on these ones than what you will find on the ones on the compact. But yet again, they all, I don't know, like they all have a beauty. Like Peau de Rose, I love it as a primer or to mix it in with my foundation. It looks phenomenal. Peau de Soleil, which is the deepest one, it just gives me a beautiful, very natural bronze look to the skin that I can wear it all by itself. And this one, Peau de Pêche, give me a spectacular glow, the highest points on my cheeks because it's again that nudie with a tiny bit of peach kind of shade. It's the liquefied version of the compacts, but with a little bit less pigment, that's for sure. You don't need to get them all, absolutely, but to me, having them all it's a pleasure to work with this formulation. Also, it doesn't break out my foundation in different ways because although the first ingredient is squalane, I feel that is very different than the actual foundation, the liquid one. The liquid one, I find it that it's ideal for those who have very, very dry skin. If you have dry to normal skin, I will say use very little amount because it becomes borderline kind of greasy, but without being greasy in like way, but it just becomes very, very glowy. These ones, they maintain the nature of a luminizer. That's what they do. They are just fantastic. I think this formula, it's beautiful. I love the packaging. You get a very generous fluid, one fluid ounces, although it seems very little, it is not. I mean, you get quite a bit of product in here. And yeah, I mean, this product is phenomenal. Pick and choose the shade that you want, but I mean, combined. The only thing is that they claim that it has a color correcting kind of factor in it if you use it all along without any makeup. And to me, no, it doesn't seem like. And if any comparisons, if you like the primer from Victoria Beckham Beauty, you're gonna like this. In terms of highlighters, I only have three. I know that's a lot and that's more than enough. But let's start first with Guerlain. And this is an actual luminizer, the shade Cool Ivory or Ivory Rosé. And again, a beautiful luminizer that just give a very natural glow from within, nothing too much, not a big stripe of highlighter, something that looks too beaming, too unnatural. No, just perfectly done. It melts on the skin super well. Now, with this specific highlighter, this is the Hollywood Glow Glide Face Architect Highlighter. Blah blah blah, Pillow Talk Glow. That's the only shade that I really truly like from this collection from Charlotte Tilbury. It is a little bit, you have to go slowly because these are a little bit more beaming and not as easy to blend as the one from the Love Gaston palette, but nonetheless it's a really nice soft formulation. But again, you have to really buff it to get that very beautiful, like you see that glow in there. I don't know if you are able to see it on my finger, but this pink shade in specific is not too pink. It's just a perfect amount of pink that goes really well with multiple different shades of blushes. And then my latest love is the new Tom Ford from the Soleil de Fou collection. This is the highlighter in the shade Oasis. Oh my gosh, this has the perfect amount of peach and gold tone without being yellow, and it makes your cheeks look just so touched by the sun in the most beautiful, unique way. Completely an obsession with me. This is it. I love Oasis more than Mirage. Mirage is just too yellow for me, but this is just the perfect combination of nude and peach and gold and even a little bit of pink. It just has so much in it to offer that it makes it very, very complimenting for different skin tones too. Let's go to the eyes category. Mascara, let's leave it on the side. Liquid eyeliner, let's leave it on the side. I haven't found anything that rocks my life that is new this year in those categories. So let's go for two other things that really rock my world. And they are this eyebrow pencil by Victoria Beckham Beauty. I love how you can get so precise hairs like strokes on your brows. It is super natural, and I love that even though this shade is just a tad bit too dark for me, with the spoolie I'm able to just brush it and just fade it on the front. It just looks perfect. And another product from Victoria Beckham Beauty, you know, my friends, how much I love to have a nude eyeliner on my waterline because it really opens my eyes. I look like I'm finally awake, that I have drink a cup of coffee without having to. And this is a specific waterline pencil in these nudie tones. I do have a ton of these in different brands. They are all good, but this one in particular I really love because some of the other ones that I have, they are really good, but sometimes they become too chunky or they get stuck on my lower lashes and they are just not like perfection. This one to me, it is perfection. Eyeshadows, and I have to tell you that YSL. YSL has, boom, just shake my world. Shake it completely. From the packaging, so luxurious. They look like a collage, so beautiful. But the formulas, and it's not only one formula. I mean, from the 4 palettes that I got, and there are many other palettes, I found 5 different formulations. If you want to get a luxury brand eyeshadow palette right now that is gonna perform, that is not gonna be that, go with this. Go with this. Babylon Roses to me is my favorite one. You get these ultra creamy shades, and then you get the wet eyeshadow. Like this is just like, it looks like you have glass skin on your eyelids. They are just phenomenal. And then you get this kind of like an aura kind of effect that just creates kind of like a veil of, those veils that they have a little bit of shimmer in them, like fabric veils, just like that. These are incredible, and you will find so easy of use. The only thing that I will highly suggest you to do is tap your brush, because you will not see kickback on the pan, but you will see a lot of pigment on your brush. And if you go with so much pigment, well, for once, obviously you're going to get full payoff right away. But not only that, you may find fallout mostly on the matte shades, although they are so incredibly creamy for the most part. This other one is Stora Dolls. If you are more into the nude, deep kind of vibe, cool tone, you like the glam eyeshadow from Natasha Denona, you're gonna like this eyeshadow palette. I mean, each of them, they are phenomenal. I love also Casbah Spices. This is a gorgeous golden tone with champagne that is not too warm, that is a true elegant gold eyeshadow palette. I mean, all of them, they are beautiful, and I cannot stop raving about them. And this is the formula, like new formulation from this year that really like poof. And so many of you had asked me, well, YSL or Tom Ford? You know my love with Tom Ford, and Tom Ford has come out with incredible eyeshadow palettes this 2023. The first one, Forbidden Pink. I mean, some people said, well, the pink was forbidden on this palette. In a way, yeah, they shouldn't have called it Forbidden Pink, because there's really no pink in this palette. It's mostly neutral palette with this another wet shade. Stunning too. This shade right here is gorgeous as well. I mean, the whole palette is just so beautiful. It gives you this, I mean, swatching it, believe me, doesn't give any justice, but it just gives a very wet, intriguing kind of look. And the formulation is that creme formula, which is just so soft, so creamy. All the shades, they are so easy to blend and so forgiving if you have a lot of falls on your eyelids. My second one is Hazy Sensuality. This one is just a perfect pinky but cool tone kind of look, is the one that I'm wearing today. It just makes me like the whole thing again. This, we're playing with these wet kind of shades that looks mesmerizing. The perfect amount of sheen, not shimmer, not glitter, elegance, sophistication. That's what you find on this one. And I also love Peach Dawn, which I have it on that side. But this one is the one that I'm using the most, Hazy Sensuality. Although I know as I get more color on my skin this summer, I'm going to be going more into the Peach Dawn one, because it's a, if you like peach tones, then is the perfect peach eyeshadow quad. Huge surprise. And I say surprise because when we're talking about the normal quote unquote formulation from Tom Ford eyeshadow quads, sometimes can be a little bit like, oh, really? It's not that good. But oh my gosh, Tropical Dusk from Tom Ford. This is from his summer collection. This is also class and beauty, feminine, sophisticated eyeshadow quad with a phenomenal formulation. So if you miss on MEADOWS or you have MEADOWS and you like the formulation of that palette, this is that formula. From the matte shades, soft, non-powdery, full pigment, then is featuring this creamy satin shade that is satin borderline metallic shade. And oh, let me clean this finger here. Got a stain from the other palette. Hold on. There you go. And then this beautiful wet shade also that it was featured in MEADOWS. These are phenomenal, fantastic. This will give you a gorgeous, gorgeous look. Something that only Tom Ford give us this look every time that I buy a Tom Ford eyeshadow palette. Yes, I know some of the formulas may not be, oh, this is the best formulation, but in most eyeshadow palettes from Tom Ford, they are just 4 shades that they are created so perfectly well that you can create a full look with the 4 shades, with 1 shade, 2 shades, 3 shades, and they just carry so much versatility. And that's why I think they are also, to me, worth the money, worth the splurge, because I know that I can trust the palette 100%. And these 3 color stories from Tom Ford this year, worth getting it 100%. To forget the palette that perhaps I have used the most the first part of the year, Delice by Chanel. This is also from the Leblanc collection. This is the most gorgeous, well curated eyeshadow palette for springtime and all year round, I think. I mean, this shade is fantastic. This is kind of like a lemon drop shade that is gorgeous too. I can create so many looks with this eyeshadow quad, not only using the 4 of them, but 2, 1. And every time that I get an eyeshadow look with this palette, I get compliments all the time, no matter what. It is beautiful. I know perhaps it's gone forever because when it's limited edition from Chanel, we know how it goes. But I will try, if I find it again, everything will be linked on the description box below, I promise you. But another eyeshadow quad that had also that kind of lemon drop kind of shade is this one by Chantecaille, also from the Wild Meadows collection, the spring collection from Chantecaille. Beautiful. This shade, if you like those taupey tones, wet look, you're gonna love that shade. This lemon drop shade is so pretty. I love the pop of pink on this palette. You know, we have a little bit of neutrality, coolness, and once again, a very sophisticated palette for everyday looks that, I mean, goes beyond just a spring palette. It goes beyond that. To me, it's a palette that can be an everyday look, morning, afternoon look, easygoing, and the pigmentation, the blendability of these palettes are fantastic. Now, a boom palette for this year is Natasha Denona and the Yucca palette. Yucca, not Yucca, Yucca Spanish, Yucca root, also known as cassava root. Um, One of my favorite things to eat. But this palette, it is a green palette dream. Warm tones, but also a little bit of neutrality. But here we see not only the beautiful formulations of the matte eyeshadows, this formula, I was so impressed. I was like, if I use a fluffy brush, I'm gonna lose completely this eyeshadow color because it's a light one. It's gonna look chalky. Excuse me. Sorry, I forgot. I was talking about Natasha Denona, right? No way. No way that will happen. This palette, all the shades apply spectacular. No patchiness. But she gave us the best metallic shades that we can find in most of her palettes. I think there's the Dream palette. We see these kind of like, oh, are you kidding me? Excuse me, but excuse me. Look at these shades. These are the shades that we found also on her glam palettes, the face and eye palettes too, where they are kind of duochromic, chameleonic, and they have so much pigment and they are just insane, spectacular, and they do not fall out. You can get some amazing looks, not only green, but also you can use some of the warm tones. This one is kind of like your center, like the one that centers everything, and then you have a cool tone. You can create really amazing looks right here with this palette. From the Dior Summer collection, I have to give it to this beauty. This palette is gorgeous. It's neutral, but with a little hint of warmth, with that pop of blue. I know you may be like, Jacqueline, but that's boring. But the performance of this palette and the way that your eyeshadow looks, it's something to really, 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 really note right here. This blue, it's so perfect. It's just so beautiful. This shade over here is gorgeous too. I don't know, but it's just like extra creamy. This shade, I love it to pop it in my inner corner. They are just so, so good. Very, very well created palette from Dior from the summer collection. And how not to talk about the new Cosmos palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think she did an incredible job with this palette. You get so many looks right here. Like this blue is fantastic right now for this season. I mean, you have pinky tones, you have more deeper shades. This quartz shade, it has like a green, yellow. I mean, they are, I don't know even where to swatch them anymore, but they are just so, so good. Creamy, the matte eyeshadows, they are the typical Anastasia Beverly Hills matte eyeshadows, the ones that we found on Nouveau palette, where they blend seamlessly, beautifully, and I think the palette is well curated. It can take you from daytime looks, fun looks, more subdued looks, all the way to smoky eye looks. I think it's fantastic. I created 4 different eyeshadow looks for my review on this palette, and I'm so, so in love. I think she did an incredible palette. If you're a person that doesn't like too much of like, oh, just a glistening effect on your eyes, something too soft, and you're more of like, I want more from my palette. Yep, Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmos palette. And also, I have to mention these palettes from Pat McGrath. These are the Mothership palette in Iconic Infatuation. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. This is kind of like a mix of Divine Rose with other palettes from Pat McGrath. This shade is spectacular. It's a very different kind of taupey shade. The matte here, they blend incredibly well. I think for not being a true Mothership palette, the curation is phenomenal. You can get so many different shades. And I have to tell you that also Velvet Liaison, it is a all matte eyeshadow palette that perhaps one of the best curations that I have seen lately for an all matte eyeshadow palette, because it really has pretty much everything that you need, from your typical brown, nude tones, a little bit of like pinky mauve undertones. This shade, crimson shade, is phenomenal. Then this shade that you can mix it. I think this palette, if anything, I will add perhaps 2 more matte eyeshadows to create the perfect matte eyeshadow palette. But this is very close to a perfect matte eyeshadow palette that is not only giving you browns, but that you have other shades and undertones in there. It's very chameleonic, and one that gives you a very simple, sophisticated kind of everyday look. If you're thinking something for the office, this is a really, really great palette. Mostly if you're a person that you care less about satin eyeshadows, metallic eyeshadows, those are not your vibe and you just go for all matte, that is a phenomenal eyeshadow palette. Talking about another phenomenal eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath, let's give it to Venusian Sunrise. This came out, if I don't mistake it, with the bronzers, and is one that I'm in love. Mostly this shade right here. This is an astral shade. Definitely it is. The way that it glides on the skin. But the whole coloration of the palette is super beautiful. It's kind of like a gold, antique gold. Well, no, actually warm. It's a more of like a warm gold tone. Very pretty. And this is also an everyday palette if you use just these 3 shades, these 2 shades right here, but then just it up with this shade right here. It's fantastic. As well as it got buried right here again. Oh my god. Let's see if I can try to get it out. But I'm talking about the new Passion Fleur eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath. It is a very different color story from Pat McGrath. It is not your typical pink because it does have this beautiful magenta. It does have a little bit of pink in it, but it's wet kind of look as well. I think all of these four eyeshadow palettes from McGRATH really are top of the line for her. Who is queen of lipsticks? You know, my friends, lipsticks are my thing. And Hourglass, although this is not a new formula from Hourglass, the Phantom lipsticks, if you want extra juicy shine on your lips, they do have a little very subtle plumping effect that is not overwhelming. Yes, yes, yes. Well, Hourglass has come out with three new shades. All of them are gorgeous. I love all of them, but this one has been one that I had been gravitating towards a lot too. Desire, Sense, and I think the other one is Rise. Love them all. They are so beautiful. You pick and choose. They did, oh, again, another incredible job. And I love how they make my lips feel completely plump and beautiful and juicy and attractive. And it just completes the rest of my makeup. And let's keep talking about Hourglass because they did come out with a new formula, and these are the Unlock lipsticks. And I think I purchased all of the shades. Yeah, and I did full swatches of them. These are creamy, satin, beautiful, moisturizing, full pigment, full opacity in one swipe. They are mm, absolutely gorgeous. I love so many of the shades. One of the shades that I love a lot is Lotus. It's a very beautiful, vibrant pink shade. Like not too vibrant, but you know, something that is just a little bit more poppy in there is like a little bit of like, here's some pink. Also, I love the shade Dahlia. Now, Dahlia has a little bit of a warmer tone. Hold on, let me just get it. Here is Dahlia. I mean, all of the shades are fantastic. Maybe a little bit more mauve, a kind of like more neutral kind of pink. Yeah, like a pillow talk kind of shade for sure. And then the mash shade, if you like nudie tones, get Tide. Tide is a spectacular neutral nude shade too, with that pinky undertone as well. There you have it. That is Tide. But if you want to see swatches of all of them, go ahead and check my review. All of the shades are fantastic, creamy, soft, super like pigmented. Like I said, just beautiful. And wow, this formula. When I talk about this formula, it's gonna like give me goosebumps because Clé de Peau. Oh my gosh, these lipsticks are incredible. They are liquid lipsticks that they go, well, you have matte shades, that you have like shiny shades, and then brilliant, which is a satin formula. One of my very favorite ones, again, I do have a full review with all of the shades of these liquid lipsticks, matte, brilliant, and the shine formula. But this shade, Calandre Orchid, a gorgeous nude tone. Now these are like are like no other. They are not only super pigmented, but they give the most beautiful shine on the lips without looking like they will not look greasy, but they just make your lips look fuller. They are incredible, and even in the matte formulation, they are extremely comfortable. Now, these are not transfer proof, but they are so good. Let me show you other shades that I love. This one in the matte one is called Current. It's fantastic. I always love magenta tones. I feel that they are just so classy and different than your typical red shade. I love reds too, but I just feel, I don't know, there's something very special about these magenta shades that they are not so common, but they are yet so feminine and so empowering. Then this other shade, Plumeria Apricot, for this season is fantastic. This one is in that brilliant formulation, which is like satiny kind of finish, and you can feel they don't feel goopy, but they are more thick in consistency. But when I'm saying thick, it's in the best way possible because your lips will never feel dry or goopy. Another shade that I love is Helicornia, and this is another kind of like more subdued pinky shade. That's gorgeous too. I mean, like, you pick and choose. There are so many shades on this. And then if you like a nude matte shade, then I will highly recommend Chocolate Cosmos. And this is kind of like a milk chocolate, nude, neutral with a little bit of like a mauve undertone to it. Not super cool tone, more into the neutral, living cool tone. Fantastic. And the difference also, the matte shades are a little bit thinner in consistency. So they still have that hydration, but without being as, like moisturizing as the ones with the satin finish. And this is the sparkly finish. This looks incredibly beautiful, and well as a lip gloss on top of any single lipstick. Again, it will give you that juicy kind of lips. Talking about juicy kind of lips, I have to give a mention to these juicy lipsticks too, are the Dior Maximizers. Although these are not they are a reformulation too, and they came out last year, but at the very end of the year. So they were not able to enter into my favorites of, 2022, but they have to enter here because these are phenomenal and they come in so many different shades. Again, one of my most viewed videos here on my channel because I swatch all of the shades. Some of my favorite ones, I mean, I think this is nothing new for you, but I will put them down below because they don't have the names right here. This is 016. It's a nudie tone. You will not get a lot of pigment from these specific lip maximizers. And the main difference between these ones and the older version, this one is gorgeous. I love how they smell too. This is 045. It's a little bit more bronzy in tone too. And then one that is like so fabulous is 003. I think it's holographic lavender, something like that, or holographic pink. I don't remember. I will put it in the description box below, but it is fantastic. And basically, what I was saying is like the difference between these ones and the older version. The older version, I felt like they were a little bit too aggressive for my lips, just a little bit more burning. These ones, they give the entire look. They stay put a little longer and they do not cause me any pain. And I like the scent of these ones even better than the previous ones. Although very close, but really, really, really nice product from Dior, and one that has to come here. Yeah, they have to be mentioned right here. Let's talk about more juicy lips. And oh my goodness, Hermes, they brought more of their shine lipsticks. They are not satin lipsticks. They are kind of like the Dior shine lipsticks, the one in the long tube, that they just give like juicy, juicy, juicy lips. So much shine. Shine like this, almost like the hourglass in the most beautiful way. And this shade in particular is my favorite. Is Brilliant Beige Crozet. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. This one every year throughout the entire year is the perfect nude tone. Your lips are gonna look so beautiful and so juicy, incredible. And Hermes reformulated their lip enhancers. They didn't announce it, but my friends, I have all Hermes lipsticks, all of them, all the shades, all the finishes, and this one is a reformulation, and I'm so happy they did so. The shade is Rose Confetti, just as one of their leathers that it's pink. This is just, I mean, you are not going to be able to see it, but this gives you the perfect lip balm sensation. With this gives you the perfect pinky natural, like pinch kind of lips. So beautiful, and it's like a lip balm. It really truly finally enhances fully the shade of your lips. So I'm planning to get the previous shades, to try the new formula on those shades to see what is the difference between them, because you can truly notice. If you have tried the previous ones, they were good, but this one, no, they were okay. These ones are not okay. These ones are not good. This is phenomenal confetti. So definitely a must have, always in your bag. And let's keep going with the juicy lips. Let's talk about Chanel. And this is from their Levage 2023 collection. The shade, it is none other than Destination. If you love boy the shade Boy from Chanel. You're gonna love, love, love this shade. Boy has perhaps a little bit more pink in it. This is just a tiny bit more warm, but again, another juicy lips, beautiful neutral tone that goes so classy with absolutely everything. I don't know, but I think this one is limited edition. Hopefully, it's not, but otherwise, it is available right now. So go ahead and get it. Mostly if you're a fan of those nudie tones. Another Chanel lippy that I love, and I know Sofia Richie made it super extra popular because she used it on her wedding and blah 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 blah. But this came out before Sofia got married, and I had been talking about it before Sophia used it and whatnot. Anyhow, it's Pink Delight by Chanel, the shade 928. It's a little bit pinky peachy tone. It's a balm, but it just gives you're not gonna be able to see it. It just gives an extra layer of dew to your lips that is very, 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 very special. Let me just twist my arm so you can see all these lipsticks right here. I know they are just so fantastic. These are not super balmy. I feel that the one from Hermes is more nourishing, more hydrating, but these just give an extra, even if you put it over top a lip liner, it just give a veil of slight hydration with a little bit of pigmentation that looks very natural. And yes, I mean, it's even dressing white, perfect for a bride. Oh wow, if Tom Ford surprised us with these matte liquid lipsticks, and a specific the shade Naked Haze. This is like having nothing on your lips. Your lips are hydrated. It lasts throughout the entire day, through meals, and it's like exactly like feeling that you have absolutely nothing. The doe foot applicator is perfection. The shade is phenomenal, so soft, and it carries so much pigment. It's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. Very light, ultra, ultra lightweight, and that's something that I really love. But if you want something that is extremely moisturizing, that is also matte, definitely a revolutionary formula. Another formula that really has surprised me so much are the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Blur Liquid Lipsticks. These are more moussey. They are more moisturizing. The Tom Ford, they are hydrating and perceptible. They will not dry your lips throughout the entire day, I promise you. And they are thinner, super thin in consistency. While these ones from Charlotte Tilbury are more thicker in consistency, more moussey, and instead of hydrating, moisturizing, like very much so moisturizing. It takes longer for them to set, but when they set, although they don't claim it, they do last throughout a meal, drinking, whatever you're doing. They will last. They are not absolutely transfer proof, but they will last on your lips, and they are a little bit chameleonic in terms that you can fade it and create more of like a cloud powdery like kind of look, which is really nice. Of the shades that she has come out, I think my favorite ones are definitely Pillow Talk. It is Pillow Talk. It's a very beautiful My Lips But Better shade. I have no more room right here. Then I enjoy a lot uh, Rose or Rosé Blur. It's even more pinky in tone. Where I'm gonna put you right here is more pink in tone, as you can tell, than Pillow Talk. And then, oh my gosh, excuse me, Flame. This shade right here is just spectacular, orangey shade, ideal for this season. And I mean, even into fall time, but I really love this shade during summertime. And then Ruby, it's a gorgeous red with a raspberry undertone, and these will last you so long. They are very moisturizing, long lasting, full pigment, super extra comfortable on the lips. I mean, the way that they moisturize your lips, it's in another level. Something that until Tom Ford came out with their liquid lipsticks, I didn't have seen before in many other ones. If anything, I will say Tom Ford is alike to the Gucci matte liquid lipsticks, which are again another phenomenal formula. And Gucci lands kind of like right in the middle between these two in terms of hydration. So this is hydrating. Gucci starts to be more moussey and more into the moisturizing side. And then the ones from Charlotte Tilbury, they are extra moisturizing. And then the final lipstick, well, this is a lip combo that I love. If you like peachy tones on your lips, this is the perfect combination. Nude Venus lipstick from Pat McGrath in the matte formula, super beautiful. And then the lip liner, also in Nude Venus, and then the lip gloss. I mean, these three together are just oof out of this world. I'm just gonna top it off, but it's this is a perfect trio. I mean, like if you don't know what to use, you want something that is a little bit warmer in tone, a little bit more peachy, ideal for this time around. I mean, all year round too. This combination right here, it's ooh so good. And a new discovery for me, and I think I must have, whether for summer or all year round. If you like lip oils, oh my gosh, I'm so impressed about this Naked Sundays lip oil with SPF 50. You heard it. This has SPF 50. It is phenomenal. It's not goopy, it's not sticky. It makes your lips look incredibly juicy. It's a wonderful lip oil. It has, this one in particular has a little bit of a scent. I know there's a clear one. This one is the caramel, but it really doesn't give a hint of color. And there's, I think, another pink one too. But what it just, I'm so fascinated is that it has SPF and you cannot even smell it or scent it. And I'm just gonna apply it over top. It's just so fantastic and leave my lips looking like this. What? Now for fragrances, Balaya by Parfums de Marly. What an incredible, epic fragrance that is the ultimate clean girl fragrance. That's what it is. This one has bergamot, white peach, orange blossom. It's a little bit musky. It does have a little bit of vanilla in it without being nothing sweet, nothing. Um, yeah, this is not your laundry like kind of fragrance. Is nothing of that. This fragrance is the fragrance of like, hello. This is just clean, iconic, memorable. It's just perfect. Just perfect. If you like a scent that it could be your everyday scent, you will get so many compliments. The sillage of this fragrance is unparalleled. This is it, Balaya by Parfums de Marly. And yes, I have done a dent because this is so good. And then an honorable mention. And now I'm saying an honorable mention not because doesn't deserve to be best of best, but because this was launched 2022, but I was only able to discover it on 2023 because all 2022, since the time that it launched, it was sold out. And it wasn't until 2023, January of 2023, that I was able to get my hands on it. And I'm talking about Stefan Hamberlucas God of Fire. Summer? This is it. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna spray it because it's so good. So this one is a little bit more fruity, but it's sparkly at the same time. It has mango, it does have berries, ginger, lemon, it does have oud in it. It doesn't smell like Baccarat Rouge 540, but it's in that leak, in the leak of so memorable as Baccarat Rouge 540. You know, those fragrances that that come and change. They are game changers. They are like they are setting another standard. Okay, well, you know, this profile I haven't smelled it before, and this is something that I want to see more and more coming. Yes. This is phenomenal. The sillage, again, is beautiful. You will get a lot of compliments from it. I smell even more than mango, and it must be the lemon, the ginger, the mango mixed together. I don't know, but I smell kind of like a passion fruit kind of scent that is vibrant. It's lemony, but it's sparkling too. I even imagine a little bit of instead of a peach Bellini, but a passion fruit Bellini from these fragrance. I don't know. It's just so good with perhaps a little bit of like fresh cut mangoes. I know I must be craving some sort of fruit, but this is not your fruity. No, this is way more than that. I mean, like, I'm talking about niche fragrances that are top of the line. You must try them and then you come and tell me. And at the beginning of the video, I said that I was going to reveal the winner of the most innovative game changer product of 2023, and it is the Dyson Airstrait. The winner to the most innovative, a game changer product of 2023 so far. And I think even perhaps a product that I see it very difficult that something else like this will come on 2023 that could be a literally game changer. It is none other than the Dyson Airstrait. I know it's not a beauty product, but it's a product that has changed completely the game in terms of making your hair straight. I do have very frizzy hair, wavy, curly, Shakira kind of style, like unravel. You cannot really tame this hair. And for a very long time, I have been using the Dyson Airwrap. And yes, this Airstrait is completely different than the Dyson Airwrap. I think the Dyson Airwrap still it has that status of amazing, also another game changer again from Dyson, that it can give you multiple kind of hairstyles. But in terms of a hair straightener, I stopped using a straightener for a long time. In fact, I do own the Dyson Coral, which I love, but I still didn't use it as much because simply I really wanted my hair to grow very long. As you can tell, I have very long hair, almost to my waist, and I wanted my hair to be healthy again. I mean, like, I have been dyeing my hair for years and years, and just damaging it overall. So there was a point in time, I think about almost 4 years ago, that I decided, I need to change this. I want my hair to really look at its best, and I started investing not only on better hair care products in general, but also in changing the tools that I had. And as soon as the Dyson Coral arrived, I was like immediately, okay, let me try it, because if this is gonna cut on the amount of damage that I'm doing to my hair, let's move on and do it. And same thing happened with the Dyson Airstrait. I decided, you know what? I know the technology from Dyson. I want to try it, and let me tell you, this is literally a game changer. It just uses heated air or cold air if you want to style your hair. But from damp hair, you get this straight of hair just using this thing, and you don't have to go through double step of drying your hair and then using a hair straightener. Not only that, it doesn't use plates. It just uses, again, just the force of the air in such a way that you're cutting off by half the amount of damage that you will do by doing the regular kind of steps, the ones that we have all learned how to do. It doesn't create tension on your hair. It's so easy, and it cuts the time of styling your hair so fast. I mean, literally, I can get my hair straight like as long as it is. Now that I had this for a little bit over a month, for I will say perhaps like 20-25 minutes at the very most, and it's just so easy to do, and I feel that my hair looks just as good as a month ago. I don't see any extra damage or nothing like that. This product, it is simply a game changer, most innovative, and I'm sure a lot of other companies, they are going to try to copy it, but who brought it first? The technology, and something that is just, I mean, mind blowing. Dyson had to do it. So anyhow, and Dyson is not sponsoring this video, by the way. I just wanted to mention it because this is a phenomenal, phenomenal product. The Dyson Air Straight, 100% worth every single penny. Buy it at full price, wait for a sale, whatever you want to do. 100% worth it. If you're a person that loves to wear your hair straight, then this is it. And not only that, this doubles as a hair dryer because when you use it close, the force of the air, it will dry the hair, so you don't really need to just use it to straighten your hair, but also just to, blow out your hair a little bit. What a game changer. Absolutely, this is the winner, period. And then the very last two things that I want to talk about are nail polishes. The one that I'm using today, it is a new shade from Dior Jasmine. This is the perfect white shade. I know I love also the one from Chanel, but this is skin. This is just everything that I wanted on the white shade. It's not your typical whiteout shade. It's classy. It does have a slight sheen gel-like that looks perfect, goes with everything, and it doesn't turn yellow. That's a super plus, and it lasts forever. It's like 2 weeks plus going with this, and it's still going strong. So in love with this Dior nail polish. It's phenomenal. Jasmine is the shade from their summer collection. Limited edition. Unfortunately, I already got a backup, and I may get another one because this has to become permanent. Has to. Mostly, I mean, I know Dior is going to reformulate their nail polishes. That's okay. That's okay. But this shade, it is a must have. And then another formula that I tried this year is from Light Slacker, and it is their jelly finish. If you like gel, like if you use gel but you don't want to use gel anymore, or if you are like me, that I do my nails at home and I don't use gel because I find them to be a little bit hard to remove, to take off, whatnot. But I like that finish and I appreciate that finish. And I always look at them with like, oh, I think I'm gonna go and do them. And I'm like, no, maybe not because they're gonna be hard to remove. Just that's me. If you like the gel finish, the jelly finish from Light Slacker is phenomenal and it dries in a blink of an eye. They look super shiny, glossy. You want to eat them. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but they just look so pretty. And this shade in particular, lilac, lilac wine. I love it so much. Okay, my friends, and this makes it for this video. These are the best beauty releases from 2023. They are all phenomenal, fantastic, 100% stamp of approval. These are things that are worth to try, new formulas that are phenomenal, fantastic, that you will not be disappointed. I will now love to hear from you. Which are those products that blew your mind, that you think that they are phenomenal, fantastic, worth to try? Let's continue that conversation on the comment section down below while you're at it. And if you haven't done so yet, you know what to do. It's completely free. Subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. It will be amazing, incredible to grow our family both on Instagram and TikTok. So come and follow me there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.